I'm Elieza and we are from a group MPU3202 sections 1H and I am Elieza.
Hey everyone, I'm Fee and today we're going to bring you through
Malacca
Prison Museum! Okay, so Elieza,
Yeah.
what are we going to go through for this?
Okay, so we're gonna insight from our group assignments, right? So Megan and Connor, who actually visited the museum, they will share like experience, and we are going to bring that live for you. We're gonna talk about it actually.
Sounds interesting. I
Right.
kind of like that.
I know, right? So we're going to learn about the prison history, how prisons are managed, and the daily life of actual prisoners, and actually how rules, actual disciplines to keep things, balanced and fair. And this also connects to our integrity and corruption course. And by showing clear rules and supervisions are so important.
Elieza, did you know that Malacca Prison Museum was actually a real working prison?
Wait, really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was actually built in 1964
Yeah.
and then converted into a museum in 2014.
Well, nice, interesting. So, yeah, I heard about that by the way. It's like from outside, the building looks quite kind of like nice, and the walls
Spooky too.
No, that's true. And
I know, right?
the quiet atmosphere and the aura there, if you go there, we don't want to talk about that, by the way.
Not too much. Okay, so exactly. I mean, stepping into a real environment of prison, especially that feeling though. Okay, the prison cells, they're very small and have very limited space. Can you imagine sitting in there?
Oh my god, I cannot even imagine sitting on it. I don't know how.
Make sure not to make a crime, okay, everyone? Worry that you might sit there.
So, but like exactly, it's actually like when you go inside the prisons, right? And the prison cells, and they were actually quite small and got limited space. That's what I heard from Megan and Connor, of course. But yeah, it sounds really uncomfortable to be honest.
And then there's actually a discipline system there. So they're designed to the cell itself is for a punishment,
Oh yeah, I heard of that actually. Like every death sentence, like a death row sections, prisoners are tortured to death for every mistakes that they did. So it's kind of sad to be honest,
And then actually, for those, I forgot to mention about their situation there, about the limited space and everything. The bed.
So like when you watch closely, like for the purpose of securities, they actually prevent escape fights. Like what I mean is, it really shows how serious crime were handled in the past.
Oh damn! Really?
Yes, it's actually like that. It's how it managed, to be honest.
So you can know by the cell itself, huh? That is quite disturbing. Okay, and this has been giving me that emotional feelings about it, and it really shows that physiological impact of a prison life, especially for those who are waiting for execution. Execution, people who death sentence. I feel bad,
Yeah, but seriously, not all prisoners are in a death row, to be honest, because they also have a working area where prisoners did working.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes, to
Actually,
be honest,
that's
as a punishment, to be honest.
That's very interesting to know, But actually, I've also heard like we have a lot of prisons. They give like when you do some work, you can earn by the money. That's a very interesting fact for you all.
But for your information, the goal wasn't just the punishments, but also preparing them to return to the society in case they are able to free in the future. Yeah,
that's nice. That's nice.
So I mean, they actually adds like positive sides to a prison's life. Well, it's like shows and education as well, also a part of the system. Well, like right next to that, by the way, they had a display of batons and other tools used by the officers. But this wasn't just for a show. They were part of officers' maintain disciplines instead.
Wait, did you know they also have a library in there?
Huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a
I didn't
library
know that,
in there. They
guys.
were
It's really
encouraged to
interesting.
read and stay productive. I mean, they have to learn back, to study back. You worry that you don't have the knowledge to speak anymore or the thoughts,
Yeah, I mean, other than that, right? Speaking of the punishment, the museum have caning demonstrations. It's like really eye-opening. Male prisoners usually get here on the butt, like like that. So the officers like trained to do it properly. It's the punishment itself.
Oh my god, that is disturbing. I can't
Yeah, imagine. It's like, when you were little and you do something bad
And then your mom
parents
whips
just
you.
like,
Oh
whip
my
you
god,
to the
no.
hanger, but this
No.
is much worse, guys. So do not do crimes, okay?
I know.
People think, that people get cans, all these things, but females can be too. Females also have the cans things, to be honest.
Oh, wait, I thought it's only for male.
No, it's only.
But then for female, where do they get hit?
Yeah, that's about the obvious, but it wasn't that obvious. I think the can wasn't obvious, but it has its own way from what I.
So it's a
can tell.
different kind of whip for them.
Yep.
Okay,
Of course.
so while we're on this topic of a prison life, we're going to see how the officers keep track of everything. Okay, there were these old prison records and a 1970s typewriter. Before computers, officer had to type out all the prison's info by hand.
Oh, okay. Well, this includes like crimes, daily reports, and prisoners' info inside the thing.
Back then, they have to do it manually.
Yeah,
Oh
say
my
they
God.
also have this like huge old camera in the prisons. I think they used to take like official photos when the prisoners arrive.
Oh my god. It really shows that prisons weren't just about keeping people locked up.
Yes.
Everything had to be organized there.
That's the thing, So
So you
even-
cannot escape easily.
No. So like even back then, right? The record keeping was already like keep it super important. It's so important.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, understand. Interesting. Okay. Since Malaysia takes drug crimes really seriously, actually we can't do that. We're not.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
To be honest.
Okay. And we're not the other country what we call Mexico.
Mexico, Thailand, and can do
We're not those
drugs.
kind of-
No.
So, the prison also had a display about some shocking drug cases.
That's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like, if the packets inside is like it could cause like serious health
Oh my
problems.
god. I don't even understand. Please, kids, don't do drugs. Okay?
Yeah, like it
Never
can
do
cause
drugs.
you into like a dead. So no.
So yeah, I think we're coming to an end.
Yeah, actually, but this is our sharings for about prisons museums and actually way more like info and display there. Visiting prison museum is the best way to guys for experience the real life, how prisoners treated and stuff. So go there. I really recommend to go there.
Even though we're talking about this museum thingy and prisons and all,
Yeah.
at least we learned something about it, about not to do,
Mm.
what to do, or the experiences in there,
Yeah.
I mean, Connor and Megan has experienced a bit about it. Even though it's a museum, they got to feel the moment there.
Correct. So actually, it actually feels heavy, but well, to be honest, this really ties to what we learn in our integrity and corruption course. So it's like related, and like rules and honesty matter. It's like very important in society, but following laws and keeping transparency in a prison help making sure everyone treated fair and safely. So I think that's what we learned from the prisons itself, right?
Yep.
Yeah, guys. So don't forget, rules, fairness, and honesty really do important, okay, kids, or whatever you guys important society. Make sure you guys follow the rules in the future. So that's all from me, Eliza.
And that's all from me, Fee.
And we catch up for our next episode if we have one. Like, shut up.